Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Fred Speaks. I pray this podcast finds you in the best of health and spirits. And I would like to dive right into our subject for this podcast, which is the working from home, the challenges of working from home. And there are many people who their jobs basically have, shut the doors and so now they have to work from home. I know there are some people who are due to the type of work they do, they have to go to a location. So my thoughts and prayers are with those folks who are still having to go to various places to work. Especially during this time that we're in now. So just want to encourage everyone to be safe, stay, do all the necessary things that we should have been doing, even before now. So let's be safe as we go about our different, our daily occupations and different tasks and things that we have to do. But there are some, challenges with working from home. And the first one I want to look at is prioritizing, work. It is so easy to fall into that mindset of, I'm at home, I can kind of chill, do what I want, whatever. But we need to, prioritize work. So in other words, we need to be self-motivated, needing to become an expert at time management. So being able to manage time. So if you know that your normal situation, you would be to work at 8 o'clock, then you need to have that same routine at home as being able to get up and do the necessary things you need to do so you're ready to go to, be in front of your computer, laptop, and ready to go. So basically, need to be an expert at time management. And when it comes to prioritizing work, you need to, when you're ready to work, you should basically have the list of tasks that you're going to be working on for that day. And so being ready to tackle the biggest, most important tasks, because a lot of times we look at the things that, the big task and we kind of want to procrastinate and put them off. But so begin your day by, tackling the biggest, most important task that that your boss is going to be or your manager is going to be asking you about. So go ahead and start working on those tasks. And limit the number of tasks you plan to do each day. A lot of times we have a long list of things that we know that in a normal situation that we have to do. So if we're in the office, we have, a lot of different tasks, and it's no different than being home, but you need to basically go into your day, say, hey, these are the things that I'm going to work on today, and limit yourself to those things. We know that things come up, just like in a regular office setting. You have things that come up that are outliers or something that is not in line with what you plan to do that day. But you have to also account for those things. But prioritizing those things so that you definitely stay on your task for that day. Another challenge with working from home, which is a big challenge, is interruptions. Interruptions slash distractions. You know, it's um, you can, if you have children, them coming in while you're trying to work. If you have animals, dogs, starting to bark or whatever, you're on a conference call or whatever, and you have a lot of noise going on. Um, and then of course, the doorbell. There's a delivery or neighbor or somebody coming by. So there can be a lot of interruptions, and distractions. But you want to kind of try to, manage those. I know some things are unexpected, but for the most part, especially when it comes to, if you have children or dogs or whatever, is, if you have a place where you can go where you can kind of be um, in a quiet place away from the interruptions slash distractions, then that's definitely recommended. I know sometimes there's just no way around that, especially in the time that we're in right now where everybody's pretty much home. Mom and dad is home, the kids are home. Of course, you got, the pets and things like that. So it can be a challenge, but, you want to try to manage and minimize those as much as possible. Um, and like I say, it. Hopefully, you have friends and family members that are experiencing the same thing and having to do the same thing as far as working from home, so they know that as far as their interaction with you during your business day, just like if you were at work, they would limit calling you, dropping by, the office or whatever. So you basically need to have the same thing at home. And again, I know there are some challenges, but again, you need to try to manage those as much as possible. One of the other challenges that can be an issue is communication. And the reason I listed this one is because communication is very, very, very important, especially if you are a remote worker or you're working from home. You have to be, stay in communication and let your other team members, management, other teams that you may interact with, to let them know what you're working on, what you need help with. So it's very important when it comes to communication. And another thing is, especially work from home, is you need to attend meetings so you know that the meetings are probably being handled via some type of platform like Zoom or WebEx or Teams. So you need to make sure you attend meetings, and it's not only just to let others know what you're working on and the tasks, giving updates on tasks and everything, but also so you stay in the loop, so the things that are going on with your team, other groups that you work with. And the only way to do that is making sure if there are meetings that you don't blow them off and say, I don't want to attend this meeting. I got too many other things I'm working on or whatever, but you want to make sure that you, for the most part, be able to attend meetings unless there is something that management has instructed you to do, which prohibits you from attending a meeting. But if it's on your calendar that you have a meeting, then you need to make sure that you attend the meeting so you stay in the loop and also be able to give updates as to things you're working on. And it's very important to utilize, email, Teams, to stay in touch with your team and management and other groups. So you all any type of communication tool, you need to utilize it, and even more so that you're not having that face-to-face interaction with others. So you need to make sure you utilize the communication tools that you have. One of the other challenges and it's, man, anybody who has had experience with working from home, is you do not want to have to experience technology challenges, and issues. And one of the challenges of working from home is a lot of times you don't have the same, similar equipment at home to basically simulate that office experience. And so that can be a challenge, whether it's monitors or access to, printer equipment, paper, whatever, different, writing tools that you need, pencils, pens, or whatever. A lot of times you may not have that same type of experience at home, so it becomes to be a challenge, and you have to improvise with what you have, unless management provides you with similar equipment for your home. So that could be a challenge, especially if you're used to having the big monitors and now you're looking at a small laptop screen. And so now it's okay. It can be a challenge. So that's one of the technology challenges. Also, one of the dreadful things is you're working and you have an important conference that you need to attend, and then all of a sudden you lose internet connectivity. And I've had that experience where I've been in the middle of something, or I was working with somebody and I'm sharing my screen trying to show them some things, and then all of a sudden I lose internet connectivity. And that is a problem. Or if you have, in which most people that are working from home, if they're most people have a need to connect to their business network, and so there can be some challenges where you're not able to get connected through the VPN platform or the remote access platform to get to the business network to do your work. So those are some challenges. And I also recommend that in addition to your regular internet connectivity, that you have a backup option, such as a MiFi, which is basically a device, a wireless device that allows you to be able to access the internet. So just having an option to having that as a backup, as well as the last option, in case your internet is not working properly, or even your MiFi is, and I know we are limiting our going out and interacting with other people at this time, but there may be a case where you have to go to a coffee shop if it's open, or a friend or family member to utilize their internet connection. So definitely technology challenges could be a huge issue when it comes to working from home. So you want to make sure that you have some plans in place just in case you do encounter some challenges with technology. The other thing is loneliness and human human interaction, and sometimes we take that for granted, especially if you're somebody that's an introvert that are used to being by yourself. But then when you are kind of forced to have to do something, sometimes that changes the whole mindset of I'm used to being by myself, but then I know I have the option if I choose to go and be around somebody, family, friend, family members, friends, or whatever. I know the option is there, but then when you're put in a situation where you can't really do that, or your interaction with those people are limited, that would be different. But in a normal work from home situation, you need to include some social breaks in your schedule, whether that's in a normal situation, going and meeting somebody for lunch, or making a phone call and just taking a moment and talk and communicate with others. So there's that. If you're used to being in the office and interacting with other people, that can be a challenge of not having that same type of interaction. So you have to basically include some type of social break, where you actually reach out to some others. Maybe if on your break, you have time, maybe you can do some, FaceTime with somebody, or just some other ways of, just communicating to kind of step away from work. So having that human interaction is very, very key, and definitely should not be taken for granted. And the other item is which is a big one for me, is overworking. I can start the day and my head is down and I'm just at it, and before I know it, it's past my normal scheduled time. And so you definitely need to set some set some reminders to take breaks, and and it's something that I, even in the office situation, I struggle with is when lunchtime comes around, it's like, dang, I don't want to leave. I'm in the middle of this. I'm doing this and I'm getting this stuff done, and I don't want to leave it right now. But you need to take breaks. Take your lunch break. Take 15-minute breaks, here and there, whatever. So it is good to do this so that you don't overwork yourself, and it's easy to do, where you just want to work, but you need to take those breaks. And then also, setting boundaries as to when your day, will start and end. So if your work day, when you go to the office, is 8 to 5, then you want to stick to that same schedule. And I know there are some things, especially working from home, and in this time where you may have a manager or whatever reaching out to you and wanting you to do some things that are either earlier than what your schedule is, or later than when your schedule ends. But you want to try to set those boundaries, so everyone is aware of, okay, although we're all working from home, we still have a schedule that has that we've been doing, and even when we're in the office. So at all possible, set those boundaries for yourself, as well as with your team members and other groups that you work with. That your schedule is still 8 to 5 or whatever that schedule may be, so that you don't overwork yourself. Because, like I said, this is one that I struggle with, because I find myself, it's 5 o'clock, but man, there's some things I'm working on, and I'm just like into what I'm working on. But then that's not good, because now you find yourself, at 7, 8 o'clock, and you're still at it. And so you want to make sure that set those boundaries for yourself and the people that you work with. So just to do a recap on this, I would like to say that working from home it definitely requires some discipline. And like I say, you have to get into the routine of, I'm gonna go about my day as if I'm getting ready to go into the office. And I know that, you don't have to, dress up or anything like that, but you want to kind of stick to whatever that routine was of, when you were going into the office. So you would get up, shower, brush your teeth and get dressed, and then, maybe get something to eat, and then you would go, head into the office. So you want to kind of simulate that same thing, so that you are disciplined enough and that you're ready to go at your scheduled time, and you're in front of your computer, your laptop, and ready to go, to start your day. And you can't do everything, and this applies even if you're in the office. You can't do everything in a day. So you definitely want to make sure that you are prioritizing your work, and that you limit the number of tasks that you plan to do each day. Because if you have a huge task list for the day, it's gonna be discouraging when you don't get all those things done. So just have the top whatever 3 or 4 things that your manager needs need you to work on, and need you to give priority to. So have those 5 things. These are the things that I'm going to be working on. If that changes the next day, then just redo that list, or move things up in the list, as to the expectation from management. Interruptions, those things are going to happen, but you want to try to manage those as much as possible, so they're not prohibiting you from doing your work. And because that's like the thing that can really defeat you working from home, is if you have so many interruptions and distractions where you really can't get anything done. And communication is very, very key. That applies in the office as well, but even more so if you're a remote worker or you're working from home. You definitely gotta communicate and stay in the loop, so you're aware of everything that's going on with the business, and utilizing the tools that you have, communication tools, so that people know that you're still alive, that you're still working, and you're still contributing. So utilize the communication tools. And technology, you're gonna have some challenges. I don't know. I was thinking, about that one. It's like, it seems like every so often, my electric company they decide that they want to do a reset or something of the power, but they lose power. And, sometimes I'm in the middle of some things and sometimes not. But either way, it can be a challenge. So you try to have as much backup options as possible. Again, having a MiFi, or being able to go to a family member or friend if you don't have internet access or if you don't have power, having some other options in place just in case. And then there's the human interaction, and being alone and working from home sometimes. If you do have other people that are home with you, you still, if you're isolated in the back room or whatever, and everybody's on the same page, hey, we're going to leave them alone during their work schedule. You still want that human interaction. You don't want to stay in there for 9 hours, and don't have any type of human interaction. So it's good to have some social breaks in your schedule. Just as if you were at work, there's times you'll get up and you'll go and, just chat with a team member or whatever, and it's a good social break, mental break. So definitely want to incorporate that into your schedule. And then last but not least was, the overworking. And so you definitely don't want to sit there and just work, and no breaks, and then working past your normal scheduled time. So I hope that this was a help, and I know there's many people that are working from home, and so I hope this helps a little bit. But we definitely want to make sure that we're disciplined, that we're self-motivated, and we manage our time well, because there's still an expectation for from the businesses that we work for, is they still want to get the job done. So you definitely got to be disciplined and manage your time properly, prioritize your work. So I hope you were able to get something out of this, and we want to encourage you to join us for another episode of Fred Speaks.